Jose?
Jose.
Oh, I met him coming in.
Okay.
How you doing, Jose? I was just explaining to, what's your name?
Caitlin.
Caitlin, my name is James Scalia Jr., and I've been a victim of a very complex fraud. Intended to defraud me out of $2.5 million of real estate. I gave her my passport because that's my only really lawful identity that hasn't been falsified, and we're trying to deal with DMV. But when I went to Washington Mutual before I became a customer of Chase, because they transferred me over, they not only changed my name from SCALIA without the space, that actually improperly represented on my driver's license, but not on my passport. They removed the junior. So they started an account under my father's name. I was served with a summons and complaint for $1 million lawsuit in Florida. They served it upon my father when he was away on vacation, saying that he was me. And then I accepted the receipt of a process, that starts a lawsuit. It's called summons and complaint. That I received it when my mom and dad, James and Gloria, lived there, and myself, James Scalia Jr., and my wife, Joanne, live in West Babylon. So the fraud of the lawsuit first started by concealing the lawsuit, by sending it to my father rather than me. And then they had an attorney call me and say, oh, you got to represent this. He was supposed a friend, but I never saw the lawsuit. So he said, no problem, I'll take care of it, But then it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and by 2009, a convicted felon arrested for terrorist activities by the name of Adil Bayat, he's in the newspaper, under Operation Ankara. When all the Turks in all the gas stations got brought in for tax evasion, he was the kingpin. So the Federal Bureau of Investigations had a, investigation. But unfortunately, he jumped sides, and the judge that arrested him as the U.S. attorney, who became the judge later on in my case, granted him a $250,000 judgment against me and my wife for this lawsuit that we never saw. Crazy. But once again, I'm sure you can follow what I'm saying, that a lawsuit was sent to Florida rather than me to conceal it. A bunch of attorneys conspired together, and then they gave a convicted felon arrested for terrorist activities that appears in the newspaper on July 8th, of 2000, and that's my wife, by the way. I'm just telling the story because of the falsification of identity. So they have a judgment against us for $250,000. They stole my $500,000 house in Massapequa. And then once I started fighting them, because I took control of my case out of the attorneys, they arrested my wife and I for trespassing in our own house to remove us so that they could steal it. So they got my $500,000 house that was near Verizon on Block Boulevard in Massapequa, right by Sunset. I don't know if you know where that is. And then they stole my gas station in Massapequa, which is on Road. So now they're trying to steal my other two houses. And so much police misconduct, judicial corruption, and attorney privilege, that they're. So that's why I just want to make sure, because I may be coming in here time to time, but I always want to assert my lawful identity to the teller and to usually the bank manager, because DMV refuses to correct the license, saying that their computer program can't control it. I'm like, but that isn't my lawful identity. You don't have the right to change my lawful identity in a lawsuit. It's got to be established. Every dot, every cross, and T. So we're a victim of extensive fraud. As unbelievable it may sound, you can see that we look like normal people, and we are. But that's why when I come in here, I'm going to probably always give my ID and explain it to the teller.
You don't need to. Just so long as the passport is a valid form of ID, you don't need to explain it to the teller.
Okay. But usually they take the driver's license, but that validates my unlawful identity that we never accepted, that they started all these accounts in. And then they coordinated it with a lawsuit. So they're going, what do you mean you're not him? James is my father. I'm not James. But once they started bank accounts in the wrong name, they searched that I used that name as an AKA. But only when I went after the attorneys did they start with all this rigmarole. So yeah, it's complex. But that's the story. We're okay? We got an L on?
Your envelope, your receipt of balance, your photocopy of the withdrawal.
Right. So as a manager, can you, next time I come in, maybe get somebody from the back office that we can talk to us about to make sure that it's been corrected in the record? Because it was the name, because it started out in your bank as James Scalia, not James Scalia Jr. then I noticed
What
it.
is the profile say?
The profile has a space, you left SCALIA, and it says junior.
Okay.
I also, does it indicate that I'm receiving mail? Because I know you usually have the little triangle in the back, top right corner.
Take it into customer service.
Okay.
Because they're stealing our mail.
Yeah, we
Once
don't
again,
have
when you
mail.
take on the big boys, they control all those things. So mail, I haven't gotten any of my statements. Mail is not being returned to Chase generally, let's say, but I'm not receiving either. So I'm a subject of mail fraud.
Yes, the customer has returned mail, verified customer addresses.
Right. All right. So is there any chance she can print that out so I can now go to my postal service and then present that to them? Because my post deliver isn't delivering it. So if I don't get it, how do I know it's been returned? I know I don't get my statement. So what I do is on a regular basis, I go to my bank by West Babylon and I ask them to give me a current activity, and they do that.
Yeah, we can give you that, but we can't give you anything indicating that.
All right, so give me current activity then. Yeah, if you do that.
Like transactions?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the last month or two or whatever. It's not a lot because, like I said, this thing is so messed up. I'm monitoring, checking, and banking, and they're running us out of money basically. So yeah, you may hear about it in a newspaper one day, but
Hopefully not because we're floating the Great South Bay.
And it won't be represented truthfully because the press is so skewed on it. And I'm fighting the police. I sued a judge in federal court, so I'm not their best friend anymore. I refuse to give in to the extortion of some crooked
It's really
attorneys.
a shame that this really goes on.
We
Like,
were
it's
celebrating.
very unbelievable.
We were celebrating her birthday yesterday at my daughter's house in White Plains. We came home.
The house
They
is locked up.
They put fire marshal things on one of my houses. Now I'm down to 3 houses now from 5 houses. They stole 2 and occupied them. But they're waiting because they took my job in 2006.
And
They
mine
took her job in
May.
2012. She was a model employee working for the County of Suffolk. One day they came in, they said she was insubordinate and incapable of performing the duties and
That I need to go
obligations
for
of a job.
psychiatric evaluation.
With no,
I was never out sick, worked through my lunch. 12 years, went to work every day. Crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So what they're doing is, because they arrested both me and her about 10 times. Now my brother-in-law is actually with the New York, with the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Joint
No
Task
help.
Force. No help. Can't help us because it's so high.
When he sued the judges, we had the U.S. Marshals at our door. Complete SWAT gear, guns, 2 in each driveway, 2 at the door, twice.
Picture.
No joke.
I sued the judge, and then when I got to the
They wanted
court,
to say we were a threat.
they let me into their chambers. Do we have locked doors here? They
With
buzz
my
you into
daughter.
chambers in Brooklyn. So I got buzzed into the door with my daughter to serve the chief judge papers. His name is Raymond Geary. He's in charge of the Eastern.
And they were just sitting
Coast.
quietly. Then she came out
They said,
with...
"Oh, sit down for a minute. He'll be right with you." So I said, "Oh, what are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be here." They said they had a young intern that accidentally let us in. I said, "Well, give these papers." There was about obstruction of justice. Thank you so much. And
A
couple
they're
hours
right up to
later,
us.
because I had the guts to serve a judge with obstruction of justice, right? So that takes a little gutsy, They came with the fire marshals, but it was a fake. They just sent them without official papers or without official things to try to...
Twice. Once at night around 9 and then 6 o'clock in the morning. Trying to get me to...
Front or the back?
I think she's in the front.
Okay.
So that's our stereo saying, which is luck. But maybe next time I'll come in, I'll talk to you. Okay. That's awesome. Thanks again, guys. All right. I took out an extra 20. Hurry up, they're closing in there. Hopefully I got that all on record. Yes.